within phonetics and phonology, we are required to go for transcription. And this transcription thing is very important. And there are people who just think that phonetics is the learning of transcription. You are required to learn transcription, and then you are required to transcribe sounds. Although this is not true, because within phonetics there are many more things to do. But this transcription is, of course, one of the very, very useful tools, right, which is used by phoneticians and phonologists. And in this session, we are going to discuss what is the basic objective of a transcription and why do we transcribe. All right. Let me just tell you an example that how important this transcription is. And I'm giving you examples. Try to pronounce these words, okay? In these three words, you see, O-U-G-H. It's a vowel, basically. But you are to judge, you are to, just determine that which sound it is. This is used within two more words. Similar graphemes are there. Graphemes, technically called graphemes. Or spellings you can call, in very simple language, spellings. Similar spellings are there. There are basically 4 letters, O-U-G-H, 4 letters used in these 5 words. And just try to detect what sound it is, right? Because the spelling is the same. And this is very important and very interesting also, in order to just imagine that how the sound symbol correspondence is within English language particularly, and also within other languages as well. And I'm giving you 4 more examples. This time this is a consonant, a TH consonant, a T-H-I-N-K, T-H-O-S-E, and then within last 2 words, the same TH, right? And you are just to imagine which sound it is. And giving you one more line, there are again 4 words, and in these 4 words, the question is C-H, 2 letters, 2 graphemes, and used in 4 words, and you are just to think about these sounds, okay? Now let me give you that how different this difference between the sound and symbol is. In the first line, the first vowel is af, enough, right? The second one is oo, true. And the third one is thorough, right? And within the next 2 words, in thought, a half-rounded break vowel, thought, and then bow. Just imagine that same 4 letters, 5 words, and 5 different pronunciations, right? So, very simply, that the puzzle is not solved by spellings, and spellings can confuse us. Spelling can give us some confusion. Now, in the second examples, right? The first is the, think. The second is the, those. The third is the again, thistle. And the fourth one is also the. So, who would tell us that which TH is the and which one is the, right? So, is this not a confusion? This is a confusion created by spellings. And let me just tell you the last line, okay? And maybe more interesting than the first 2. Church, the first CH is ch. The second one is chemistry, k. The third one is kh, loch. This is a sound which still exists in English. English used to have this sound, the Scottish English basically, but this is still maintained by them, and they use this. So this is kh, loch, and the last one is sh sound, Cheryl. Just imagine. All right. So it is obvious from these examples that spellings confused us. They do not give us a proper clue how to pronounce and what to pronounce. Okay. So what is the solution then to this problem? And the problem is transcription. All right. So transcription is a useful tool, right? It gives us uniformity. We can uniformly transcribe sounds, and then those sounds may be produced by the speakers of different languages, not specifically one language, but any speaker, any learner of the language who is not specifically knowing that particular target language. But the person can still have an idea that what is the exact appropriate pronunciation of that word, right? And this is also very much possible for any other language, not specifically for English. It can be uniformly used for any language of the world, right? Transcription is also important for phonology. And I can give you an example. Like in English, white and right. So what's the difference between white and right? There is the difference of only one sound. In the first word, it is v, and in the second word, it is r. So this difference of v, r, basically, that is because of phoneme. Because v is a separate phoneme, and r is a separate phoneme. And on the basis of that phoneme, the meanings are different, right? Like in the example of cat and bat. So k and b, cat, bat. So k and b are different. They are different phonemes, right? And therefore, they are differently pronounced. Okay? Phoneme is, phonologically, technically, phoneme is a group. Because within phoneme, there is variation. There is the possibility of pronouncing that phoneme differently in that language. Like the t sound in pity and versus pit, in the word pit. So that this is not the same t, pity and pit. It's different because when you acoustically check, these both t sounds have different features, right? And similarly, the l sound in play and in lay, these are different, right? Phonologically, they may be similar because they may not be able to create meaning, right? But they are different phonetically. And that's why they are allophones. They are called allophones of the same phoneme. Within word pop, right? Pop. The first p is different than the last p, right? Very simply, I can tell you that when you just closed your lips for the last p, you can keep your mouth shut for hours and hours, like pop, and you may not be releasing the pressure, right? So that's the difference. These are allophones, all right? So the point is that we have many types of transcription. One type of transcription is the broad transcription, right? We may be very simply transcribing sounds, like the last examples which we just went through here, t, l, p. These are not allophonically described. The phonetic features are not given, but they are very simply, broadly transcribed, right? So the phonemic transcription, and remember that these transcription are given on the basis of phoneme, and these slashes are used for phonemic transcription. Slashes, okay? And this is the variation between sounds. That variation is given. Like please, so p, l, is a, and trip, t, r, a, or p, right? So that's the phonemic transcription, and we have also one possibility of very narrow, very detailed, and careful, which is technically called citation style transcription, right? In phonetic transcription, when quite detailed transcription is given, these are given within brackets, square brackets. So also remember this difference, that slashes are used for phonemic and brackets are used for phonetic transcription, right? Phonetically, if we are to transcribe the similar words, please and trip, right? So we would phonetically transcribe them as please. You see this difference, the l sound, it has this small circle below it. And this shows that the l is voiceless. Because of the context of p, this l is made voiceless. So this detailed transcription is given. And similar is the case with trip, because the r, which is otherwise a sound which is voiced, right? Vibration is there in r, right? It is an approximant, voiced approximant. But because of the t, which is voiceless, the voiceless feature is shared with r. So that is phonetic transcription. Phonetic transcription is basically systematic phonetic transcription. We need to go through phonetic transcription when we are to transcribe a language. It may be a new language for language documentation. Or we may be analyzing the speech of a child or a patient who is suffering from some, speech issues. Like there might be some staggering or some, speech disability or dysfunction of speech. So for those patients, when we process their language, when we just analyze their talks, then we need to go through a detailed phonetic transcription. And we are to describe every phonetic value, every allophonic value. So we need to go through phonetic transcription, detailed phonetic, and we also rule-governed alternation. We give a rule-governed alternation within, phonetic transcription when it is detailed phonetic transcription, right? Or when we do not know the rules and we are using a new language as a phonetician, then we are just using impressionistic transcription. That is called impressionistic because we do not know about the rules, but we are using impressionistic transcription.